Okay, when we're mixing our paint, you want to make sure that you just get a little bit of paint out at a time. I am washing my brush in between and making sure that I clean it off on the newspaper. Get it really cleaned off before you get any more paint out of your containers. So I'm going to get a little bit of white. I want to make sure I have no paint on my brush as I get just a little bit of white paint out of here. Put the lid back on your paint so it doesn't dry out. And you can see that I have plenty of white here to mix with my red, making a really nice light pink. I'm painting on my unicorn. Some of this is second coat. I'm going to paint the horn purple. I started on that. When you do paint with this paint, sometimes it dries out a little bit or it's just thick, so add some water to it. Just a little bit on your brush, and it'll make it a lot easier to spread. If you're pushing it along and it gets dried out, it's just parched, it needs a drink of water. So just put a little bit of water with this paint and it'll spread way more easily. Now if you're going to be making a brown, which I know a lot of you had brown colored animals, if you wanted to make a brown, you'll need to mix complementary colors. So that means you're going to have to make a secondary color with your primaries and then mix it with the opposite primary. So what I mean is, if I make an orange with red and yellow, I'm going to mix it with a little bit of blue to make a brown. Red and green make a delicious chocolate brown. Yellow and violet will make a brown also. But you'll have to mix those colors up before you can use them. Wash your brush in between everything. Little bits of paint. As you can see, I just am getting little bits here. If it doesn't spread as well, I can always add water. Make sure you paint the edges of your plaque, because whether it's sitting down flat or up on a wall, we'll be able to see those edges. So make sure you paint those also. The brushes that I gave you guys are nice flat brushes, so you should be able to go along the edge of your sculpture. Just keep the flat edge of the brush along the edge of your sculpture. If your sculpture is really bumpy, that's okay, just paint all those bumps. I'll tell you what, it's going to look more like fur if you start layering some colors in there too. So just getting this first layer on. When you're finished painting, this brush will need to be washed with water, and I'd put a little bit of soap on it, rub it around in your palm of your hand, and then rinse it off really well. Because of this acrylic paint will harden overnight and you won't be able to use your brush again unless you clean it really well. So take good care of your brush, take good care of your paints, and they will last you for a long time. If you have any questions, make sure you get in touch with me.